Salesforce is pretty much useless if you can't find the records that you're creating, so it's important to understand the different options for pulling up records that have already been created. One of those options, the most powerful one, is search up at the top here. You can pretty much type anything you want into this search box, and it will show you not only the recent items you've looked at, but if you don't see it there, you can also search for what you typed in there. And if you go ahead and add an asterisk to the end of that, it broadens the search to include anything that starts with those letters. And usually advise that you go ahead and do that. And when it comes to search, less is usually more. So rather than typing out somebody's entire name, maybe just type out the first few letters of their last name with an asterisk, and that'll make sure that your search results include any kind of spelling errors or maybe you didn't exactly know what their name was. And the results are going to be grouped by different types of objects that relate to your search results. So you can see the list of contacts that start with Jim. You can see the proclamations that have Jim in their name. And you can see the accounts that have Jim in their name as well. And this is a good example where had I typed out Jimbo Enterprises, it might not have given me that result if I spelled it wrong. Whereas if I use that asterisk, it will go ahead and ensure that I get my results. And then you can access any of these records right from here. In addition to typing people's names, you can also type keywords. So I'm going to go ahead and search pothole, and that actually brings up any records that have the word pothole in them, which in this case is all constituent issue management records, case records. So in addition to search, on every screen you're also going to see a recent items list. They'll show you the last 9 or 10 records that you've actually looked at. And this can be really useful for navigating back to a record that you just navigated away from. So definitely use that to your advantage. Additionally, on each of the tabs, there's something called a list view. And these actually allow you to filter different records in that tab based on what the name of the view is. So if you want to see just people who are nonprofit staff, then you go ahead and click that, and it'll show you just the records that relate to it. Now the important thing to understand about how these views work is that they rely on data from the record itself. So the reason why this record is included on that list view is because this value of nonprofit staff is included in this field. If this were to be blank, in other words, when you created this record you didn't actually fill out that field, then the view wouldn't actually return that result anymore. So now when I go to nonprofit staff, because I remove that value from that field, it no longer shows up. So it's really important to understand which fields actually associate with these views so that it can be predictable and you know how to make sure that the record is showing up where it's supposed to go. And the best way to protect yourself on that is to go ahead and make sure you fill in all the fields that you can for every record that you create. And again, each of these tabs includes a different list view depending on what type of views are most relevant to those types of records. So definitely explore each of these views on each of these tabs and see what kind of records it returns. For a full instruction on which fields each view depend on, please consult with the written instructions that have been provided. So those are the three different ways or best ways to find records that have already been created, using the search bar, using the recent items, and then using views on each of these tabs.